Hello students, in this video we will start unit number 3 of paper MIT. So first article is four derivatives and second one is bounded variation. So both the article we will study in this video. So first definition is four derivatives. So if f is an extended real valued function at x and it is defined in the interval, suppose say ab, and x belongs to this interval, then these four quantities which are described here below. The first one is upper right derivative, which is defined as d plus f of x is equals to limit h tends to 0 plus supremum of f of x plus h minus f of x upon h. Then lower right derivative is defined as d plus f of x equals to limit h tends to 0 plus infimum of f of x plus h minus f of x upon h. Then upper left derivative is d minus f of x equals to limit h tends to 0 minus supremum of f of x plus h minus f of x upon h. And last one, lower left derivative is d minus f of x equals to limit h tends to 0 minus infimum of f of x plus h minus f of x upon h. And if all these four derivatives, then the value of the upper right derivative, then lower right derivative, lower right derivative, after that upper left derivative and lower left derivative. If values of all these four derivatives are equal, so then we say that the function f is said to be differentiable at x if and only if the four derivatives have a common finite value, and this value is denoted by f dash of x. So next is example. Here f of x, the function is given f of x equals to mod of x, and we have to show that at x equals to 0, the upper right derivative is equals to the lower right derivative, which is equals to 1, and also upper left derivative equals to lower left derivative, which is equals to minus 1. So let's start with this solution. So solution, first it is given function is f of x equals to mod of f. So therefore this function f of x can be written as x for values of x greater than 0, and this function is minus x for values of x which are less than 0. Now the upper right derivative d plus of f is equals to, is defined as limit h tends to 0 plus supremum of f of x plus h minus f of x upon h, which is equals to here limit h tends to 0 plus supremum of f of x plus h will be mod of x plus h, then f of x will be mod of x upon h. So now at x equals to 0, this upper right derivative of f at x equals to 0 is equals to limit h tends to 0 plus supremum of mod of h minus mod of 0 upon h. So for h tends to 0, this mod of value of the function mod of h will be h. So here limit h tends to 0 plus supremum of mod of h upon h. So therefore the upper right derivative is equals to limit h tends to 0 plus supremum of for greater values for values of x greater than 0 or values of h greater than 0, mod h equals to h and upon h. So here we get limit h tends to 0 plus supremum of h upon h is supremum of 1, which is equals to 1. So similarly, the lower right derivative of this function f is equals to 1, and therefore the upper right derivative is equals to the lower right derivative, which is equals to 1. Now next we have to prove that the upper left derivative is equals to the lower left derivative, which is equals to minus 1. So we know that the upper left derivative is equals to limit h tends to 0 minus supremum of f of x plus h minus f of x upon h, which is equals to limit h tends to 0 minus supremum of mod of x plus h minus mod x upon h. So now at x equals to 0, this upper left derivative at 0 is equals to limit h tends to 0 minus supremum of mod h minus mod 0 upon h. So this is equals to limit h tends to 0 minus supremum of mod of h upon h. So which is again equals to limit h tends to 0 minus supremum of, for h less than 0, this value of mod h will be minus h upon h. So therefore upper left derivative of f at x equals to 0 is equals to limit h tends to 0 minus supremum of minus h upon h is minus 1. So this is equals to minus 1. Similarly, we can prove that the lower left derivative of f at x equals to 0 is equals to minus 1, and hence finally the upper left derivative of f is equals to the lower left derivative of f, which is equals to minus 1, and hence we get the solution. Next definition is of function of bounded variation. So a function f defined on the interval close interval ab is said to be a bounded variation if there is a constant k which is greater than 0, such that for every partition of this closed interval we have summation I from 1 to n mod of f of xi minus f of xi minus 1 less than or equals to k. Now this function f defined on this closed interval ab, and the variation of f with respect to p is given by this variation from a to b f over p over the partition p is equals to summation I from 1 to n mod of f of xi minus f of xi minus 1. Now, let this a equals to x0 less than x1 less than up to so on xk equals to b be any partition of this closed interval ab, then this small p, which is equals to summation I from 1 to k f of xi minus f of xi minus 1 plus this p is called a positive part of variation over ab. Similarly, n small n, which is equals to summation I from 1 to k f of xi minus f of xi minus 1. This is called the negative part of variation over the closed interval ab, and the sum of this positive and negative part, that is p plus n, which is equals to t, is called total variation and is defined as summation I from 1 to k f of xi minus f of xi minus 1. Now, let capital P be defined as the positive variation, capital N be the negative variation, and capital T be the total variation. Then capital P is equals to supremum of positive part of variation, that is small p. Negative variation is supremum of negative part of variation, and capital T is equals to supremum of t, where this t total variation is equals to p plus n. And here the supremum is taken over all partition of AB, and this capital P, capital N and T are called as positive, negative and total variation of F respectively. Now this total variation of F on AB is also denoted by TF over the interval AB. And if this total variation is less than infinity, that is if it is finite, then F is said to be a bounded variation, and it is denoted that F belongs to the set of bounded variation over the interval AB. Now next is the theorem. The statement says that if F is a bounded variation function, then we have to prove that F of B minus F of A is equals to P minus N, and the total variation T is equals to P plus N, and all variation being on the finite interval AB. So let's start with the proof. Now let us suppose that capital P be any partition of interval AB. So therefore, for any partition we have f of b minus f of a is equals to p minus n. Now this can be written as p equals to n plus f of b minus f of a. We have just shifted this minus p on the left hand side. So we get p is equals to n plus f of b minus f of a. Now we know that this n is less than or equals to supremum of n, and supremum of n is equals to the negative variation, that is this negative part of variation is less than the negative variation. So this can be written as small p less than or equals to capital N plus f of b minus f of a. Now taking supremum over all partition, taking supremum over all partition. So we get capital P, which is less than or equals to capital N, that is negative variation, plus f of B minus f of A. So which implies that positive variation minus negative variation, which is less than or equals to f of B minus f of A. So let this be number 1. Now similarly, this statement can be written as N is equals to P plus f of A minus f of B. So now this P is less than or equals to supremum of P, and supremum of P is equals to positive variation. So this can be written as N less than or equals to capital P, that is positive variation, plus f of A minus f of B. So now again taking supremum over all partition. So here we get capital N less than or equals to capital P plus f of A minus f of B, which implies that f of B minus f of A less than or equals to P minus N. So let it be number 2. Now from this 1 and 2 we have, from 1 and 2 we have f of B minus f of A equals to positive variation minus negative variation, that is P minus N. Let this be number 3. So the first part is proof. Now we have to prove that this total variation is equals to P plus N. So next, here this T is equals to supremum of this total variation. So this implies that capital T is greater than or equals to this total variation, which again implies that capital T is greater than or equals to this T is P plus N. So this implies T is greater than or equals to P plus f of A minus f of B plus P. So this implies capital T, that is total variation, greater than or equals to 2 times P plus f of A minus f of B. Now taking supremum over all partition, and using equation number 3, this implies that this total variation is greater than or equals to 2 times P plus N minus P. So this implies this capital T, which is greater than 2P minus P, is P plus N. So let this be number 4. Now since we know that this T total variation is equals to N plus P, so again taking supremum we get capital T less than or equals to negative variation plus positive variation. Let this be number 5. So now using 4 and 5, so finally we get total variation T is equals to positive variation plus negative variation, that is P plus N, and hence the theorem is proved. So now the next theorem is, here the function is bounded variation if and only if f is difference of two finite valued monotonic increasing function on this interval AB where A and B are finite. So let's start with proof. Here it is first part. In first part we have to prove that given that f belongs to bounded variation over the closed interval AB, and we have to prove that f is difference of two finite valued function. F is difference of two finite valued monotonic increasing function. So proof. Here it is given that f is a function of bounded variation of closed interval AB. So if f is function of bounded variation of closed interval AB, so then this variation of f is a function from this closed interval AB to the set of real numbers, and this function is defined by this variation of function f over x, which is equals to the total variation of f over the interval ax, which is equals to the total variation from a to x of the function f, which is equals to the total variation over the interval closed interval ax of the function f. Now let f as f is bounded, so let f be a bounded, and this is known as a variation function on AB. Now we define two function g and h as follows. Now we define here two function g and h as f is bounded and it is known as variation. So g is defined as g is equals to 1 by 2 variation over f plus the function f, and h is defined as 1 by 2 the variation of f minus f, and this g minus h is equals to f, that is f is a difference of this two function. Now only we have to show that these two function are finite valued and also monotonic increasing. So the way in which we have defined this function, they are finite valued. Now if x1 and x2 is a pair of points, in the given closed interval AB with x2 greater than x1. So then g of x2 minus g of x1, by definition of g, half of, in bracket, g of x1 is v variation of function over x2 minus f of x2, minus g of x1 is variation of function over x1 minus f of x1. So this is equals to half of variation of function over x2 minus variation of function of x1. We have just rearranged these terms, and plus f of x2 minus f of x1. So let this be number 2. This will be number 1. Now similarly, h of x2 minus h of x1 can be written as h of x2 minus h of x1 is equals to 1 by 2, in bracket, h of x1 is variation of f over x2 minus f of x2 minus h of x1 is variation of f over x1 minus h of f of x1. Now again rearranging these terms, we get 1 by 2, in bracket, variation of f over x2 minus variation of f over x1 minus f of x2 minus f of x1. Now this f is bounded variation on AB, but f is a bounded variation on this closed interval AB, and in particular on x1 and x2, since x1 x2 is a pair of points in this closed interval AB and x2 is greater than x1. So therefore we have total variation over the interval, closed interval x1 x2 of the function f less than or equals to the total variation over the interval x1 x2 of f equals to vf, that is variation of x2 minus variation over x1. So this implies that mod of f of x2 minus f of x1 is less than or equals to variation of f over x2 minus variation of f over x1. So now thus this g of x2 minus g of x1, this is greater than or equals to 0 from second. So this implies that g of x2 is greater than or equals to g of x1, and this implies that g is a monotonic increasing function. This g is monotonic increasing. Now let this h of x2 minus h of x1 equals to half of variation of f over x2 minus variation of f over x1 minus f of x2 minus f of x1. Let this be number 3. So also by 3, we have h of x2 minus h of x1 greater than or equals to 0, which implies that h of x2 is greater than or equals to h of x1. So this implies that again this h is monotonic increasing function. So hence the first part of this theorem is proved, that is this f is equals to the difference of this two monotonic increasing function. Now conversely, we have to prove that if f is difference of two finite value monotonic increasing function, then f is a bounded variation on the interval AB. So now conversely, we have f is equals to g minus h, where g and h are monotonic increasing function. And then for any partition P, of the interval AB, we have this total variation T is equals to summation I from 1 to K mod of f of xi minus f of xi minus 1 by definition of this total variation. So now f is equals to g minus h. So this can be written as summation I from 1 to k mod of this f of xi can be written as g of xi minus h of xi minus this f of xi minus 1 can be written as g of xi minus 1 minus h of xi minus 1. Now rearranging this term, we get summation I from 1 to k mod of g of xi minus g of xi minus 1 minus h of xi plus h of xi minus 1 mod complete. So this is less than or equals to summation I from 1 to k mod of g of xi minus g of xi minus 1 plus mod of h of xi minus h of xi minus 1. Now separating this summation, we get T is less than or equals to summation I from 1 to k mod of gxi minus g of xi minus 1 plus summation I from 1 to k mod of h of xi minus h of xi minus 1. So this is less than or equals to g of b minus g of a plus h of b minus h of a. So therefore this t is less than infinity. Now since this g and h are finite valued, since g and h are finite valued, so taking supremum over all partition, so taking supremum over all partition P, we get this total variation of f over the interval AB less than infinity, and therefore by definition this total variation is finite, and thus by definition the function f is a bounded variation on the closed interval AB. So f is bounded variation on this interval AB. So that is f belongs to the bounded variation over this closed interval AB, and hence the theorem is proved. Now in the next video we will see some more theorems on bounded variation. Thank you.